Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About. This is me, Amin.
And this Alex.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about electric scooters and Malaysian roads. So recently on soycerita.com, there was an article about asking this question: are electric scooters banned on Malaysian roads? And this came from a statement, it didn't come from us. The trigger of this was a statement from the Chief Traffic Police of Kuala Lumpur, Mr.
Zulkifli Yahya.
ACP Zulkifli Yahya. When he was talking to reporters, he said, what did he say?
Well, he just basically said that e-scooters will be banned from public roads from the 1st of January 2021.
Okay, I'm sure there was like some nuances in there. I'm sure, I'm not like 100% sure, but I'm pretty positive he maybe explained it more clearly on what the ban was or what he meant. But a lot of the news outlets out there picked up on the reporting and immediately put out the article that e-scooters from 1st of January 2021 will be banned on Malaysian roads. But there are a lot of things to like dissect here. It's a lot of things to peel. Number one is, are electric scooters completely banned on Malaysian roads? And then number two, what about bicycles? What about everything else? And where else can I ride electric scooters? What about personal mobility devices moving forward? How are people going to move around aside from walking? So the reason why I wanted to talk about this show, I wanted to talk about this today in this show is because I wanted to like really go deeper and explain and maybe help you guys out if you have any questions or things that you're not sure of with regards to the statement. So first of all, let's go into the statement and what was like specifically mentioned.
Okay, so during because it was reported by Bernama and other news outlets, basically he said that there's a lot of cases whereby people are riding the e-scooters dangerously on the roads, and that not only endangers themselves but other road users as well. And as a result, they're going to enforce this ruling that is banned completely from next year. So if you're caught riding on a public road, you can be fined 300 ringgit for the first offence and up to 1,000 ringgit for subsequent offence, and you can be imprisoned for up to 3 months. So the question is, are they really banned, and where can you use e-scooters?
Yeah, that's the thing. But then is it worth it to be in prison for 3 friggin' months just because you rode an electric scooter on the road? I think there's a lot of confusion here. Let's go back into time and talk about our favorite minister, the Transport Minister, Dr. Wee Ka Siong. So he, in September, he shared on his Facebook this viral video about one idiot, one guy. We will share the video in this episode. You'll take a look at it later. We'll also put it in the link. We'll also put the link in the description below. So this one idiot rode a personal mobility device. It's a mono wheel. It's one of those unicycle looking things that's powered by electricity. And he was in the video, he was wearing a helmet and he had gear on, but he rode that on the road, like
on the highway,
on the highway, like it was like a motorcycle. And Wee Ka Siong put out a statement and he put out 3 things. Number one, he said that this is something that he's looking very seriously. It's something that's very dangerous. We need stronger, stringent regulations and rules to govern this, to regulate this, and this is going to be implemented like as soon as it can be implemented. That's what he put in his Facebook post, and that was in September. And in October this year, 2020, I think the Parliament, was it the Parliament?
Yeah, they passed the new Road Transportation Amendment Act 2020. I think most of you probably know about this act, whereby the government actually put stricter penalties for drunk driving, people driving under influence. So these mobility devices fall under the same amendment.
So within the amendment, they put in all these new regulations. Number one, like Alex mentioned, is the more stringent punishment for drunk drivers. The thing is, this amendment was drafted. It was drafted way before this year. It was drafted during the previous government. But it was good that the amendment passed and goes into law, that more stringent punishment it will be enacted onto drunk drivers. That's fine. But we also within the amendment is the classification of what is micro-mobility devices. So within the amendment, they call what I call personal mobility devices, what a lot of you guys would call e-scooters. Some people call them personal electric vehicles. So I prefer them. I prefer to them as PMDs. So PMDs includes electric scooters, electric bicycles, and those electric hoverboards, and the electric unicycle, the monowheels, right? So the amendment calls these devices as micro-mobility devices. So they classify micro-mobility devices as anything that is powered by electric, powered by, or it could be powered by internal combustion engine, or it could be powered by humans. It could be just a normal bicycle, or a combination of human power and battery or electric. And it's anything that has a speed limit of 50 kilometers per hour. So it's anything that is powered by electric or internal combustion or human powered, or is a combination of human power and electric or internal combustion. And it's something that can go a maximum of 50 kilometers per hour. Here's the thing. If you guys ride bicycles, you know bicycles are capable of going 50 kilometers per hour. Speaking of which, bicycles are also classified as micro-mobility devices. So in the statement that was made by ACP Zulkifli and that was quoted by all these other news outlets out there, why did the reporters single out only PMDs, personal mobility, only electric scooters? Why? What about bicycles? Why is the ruling not the same? Why is this? Why did the police said that he will only go out to summon e-scooter riders starting from 1st of January and not bicycle riders and not everybody else? What's going on here? So I have a problem with that. And the thing is, with regards to the ruling, there's a lot of things that are missing. So in the ruling, I believe he also clarified that you are able to ride PMDs in like
on the roads if you apply for like a special license.
Yeah. Number one, you have to apply for a special license. Number two, he didn't say how to apply for this special license. Number three, is there like a test that you have to take for this special license? Who gives out this license? So do they have to go to JPJ? Do they have to go to a driving school? They have to. That wasn't clarified.
Yeah, and the disturbing part is that at the time of recording, right, we are like 2 weeks away until 1st January, and everything's not clear.
Yeah, everything's not clear. But you can be summoned, and you can go to jail, and you can stay in jail for 3 months. So what's going on? There's a lot of confusion here, but let's try to like clarify everything. So from our reporting, from our research and everything else, this is what we know so far. Number one, obviously you cannot ride your PMDs and your bicycles on highways. That is completely memang salah. That is wrong. On open highways, you can't do that unless there is a motorcycle lane. In motorcycle lanes, then that's fine. Other than that, the report also said that you can ride your PMDs on sidewalks and on bicycle lanes that are marked. The problem is there is a lot of classification. So it's okay for you to ride something that is 50 kilometers, that has a maximum speed of 50 kilometers per hour on sidewalks, when the normal pedestrian walkway is crowded with people, number one, with motorcycles that are already parked there, and also using the lanes as motorcycle lanes. And then the bicycle lanes, if you go to KL, you'll see that a lot of bicycle lanes are blocked by either cars or blocked by construction. So what happens then? If I ride an electric scooter and I'm on the bicycle lane and then I'm blocked, and then I have to like swerve out because there's a car there, will the police summon me?
Here's the thing, it's not very clear because they didn't actually specifically say that you can use your e-scooters on bicycle lanes yet. It's not clear that you can use bicycle lanes. It's not clear whether you can use.
They didn't say that.
They didn't say that. What they did say is riders can ride around only in gazetted areas such as playgrounds and permitted areas around shopping centres. That's it. What are gazetted areas?
What are gazetted areas?
They never mentioned it because we haven't seen any guidelines. That's the biggest problem. So if you look at what you can't do, which basically say no public roads, which means that everything else we can ride, it's not clear. Yeah. So in a way, the police saying just get off my roads and you're fine.
Okay,
that's the message I'm getting.
Yes, and I wanna add to that. Basically, what happened was, if you were paying attention, right, October 2020, the new rule was passed, and I guess there was some motivation or impetus for the police to say something with regards to personal mobility devices. Also, number two, when he made that statement, the ACP Zulkifli, when he made that statement, he did like a walkabout or something. He did like a recce of the situation, what's going on in KL, and he feels that there's just too many people riding scooters and PMDs in his city, and he needs to put out a statement to, I guess it's as a warning.
Yeah.
So if you've been looking at reports recently with regards to bicycle, the Pengarah Jabatan Siasatan dan Penguatkuasa Trafik of Bukit Aman, Datuk Azizman alias, issued a reminder to cyclists. Number one, they need to be more, what he calls berhemah lah. What's the word? Berhemah?
Be more responsible, or be more aware.
More friendly,
courteous.
Yes, more courteous on the roads. Why the discrepancy here? Okay, let's go into the safety aspect. Be more courteous on the roads. Not just cyclists, everybody needs to be courteous on the road. Whether you're a pedestrian, whether you ride a motorcycle, whether you drive a car, whether you ride a personal mobility device or e-scooters, you need to be courteous on the road because it belongs to everybody. It's a public thing, right? That goes without saying. Why I'm saying that is because, okay, he issued a reminder. He issued a reminder to cyclists, okay, please be courteous. Why can't it be done with e-scooters?
I guess I can't blame him because I think the Transport Ministry, they didn't put any set guidelines. So police like, what do I do with e-scooters? I have no idea. But I do know that it's dangerous on the roads. That's all I know.
No, but the thing is the amendment the amendment classifies e-scooters and personal mobility devices and bicycles under the same category. So he could go out and say that, okay, bicyclists and everybody else that's using the road that is not a car or a motorcycle, please be courteous. Why are they singling out e-scooters? Then when I was doing when I was doing my research and reading, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not the police or the penguatkuasa or the people that are making the law. Maybe it's the reporters that are just reporting this as is and not asking the questions. So in this episode, that's why we're asking these questions. Now, the excuse of e-scooters being dangerous on the roads. Let's put out some numbers. So in the same statement, in a report, again, by the Pengarah Jabatan Siasatan dan Penguatkuasa Trafik, again, Datuk Azizman, he mentioned that, okay, bicyclists have to be courteous on the road, and he cited that safety is a concern, especially when you're in the open roads. And he mentioned that from January to October of this year, over 200 cases involving cyclists, accident cases involving cyclists have been reported. And from that, 56 deaths from January to October. In the period of 10 months, 56 cyclists died on the roads. Now, one life is as important as any other life. I'm not trying to discount the fact that somebody died and, you know, it could involve family members and whatever. But if you look at it as a number, from January to October, 56 people died, 56 cyclists died. Now, let's look at the number of accidents that happened in the first 30 days of the original MCO period. Now, let's look at the first 32 days of the original MCO that started in March of this year, 2020. Within the first 32 days, over 10,382 accident cases were reported. That was within the first 32 days. Within that 10,382 cases, over 145 motorists died on Malaysian roads just within 32 days. Now, if you're talking about dangerous, I think maybe you guys need to tell me which one's more dangerous. Cars on the roads, motorcycles on the roads, or people on electric scooters riding around city areas? I think the answer is clear. Okay, what I also want to clarify is it's good that the government and the people and the authorities are putting out a statement before anything happens. Yes, prevention is better than cure. But this heavy-handed approach with regards to telling people that e-scooters are banned and banned on roads, and whatever happens after that, I don't know, is silly lah, if you ask me.
For me, is that I think we all agree that regulations are important because there's always one or two idiots out there who just give a bad name for everyone. So regulations are important.
Yes.
But before we warn people that this is going to happen if you ride on the roads and all that, we need to have clear guidelines. Because like I said, we're just a couple of weeks away to 2021, and there's no clear guidelines. Where can I use my e-scooters? Not clear. And if you compare that to our neighboring country like Singapore, they have very clear guidelines. Like for example, they tell you what kind of e-scooters or what kind of e-scooters or personal mobility device you can use. It must be certified by certain certifications, and where exactly can you ride and what speeds can you ride on. So those are the things that we need to have in Malaysia before we enforce the law. Because here's the thing about Malaysia, we always have to do things last minute, and there's a lot of confusion, and then there's going to be argument between the authorities, with the people, and with the government. So like, for example, the MCO period, there's a lot of confusion with SOPs. So it's the same thing here again. And again, like what Amin said, there's a lot of reporters who are, giving a different picture of what's actually going on. Some people assume that, e-scooters are banned completely, but they're not. So I just wish that the government is more upfront and has better planning to enforce this law. Yeah.
And what I want to add on to what you say, Alex, there is a growing community of passionate people who are like really driving the agenda of responsible usage for personal mobility devices. I think we need to make it clear here. This is the future. I have a hoverboard, the Segway 9-board hoverboard Max. I got it with the Go-Kart Pro, right? At first I thought it was a toy, and then when I tried it, I think like this is a legit replacement for walking. It's quite convenient, to be honest. And in Malaysian weather, it's amazing. And I'm addicted to electric power, to be honest. Yes, I think in Rory's review, when he did the review of the Go-Kart Pro, he did mention that there's this legit concern about mileage anxiety, like how long can the battery last and how far you can go. And my point is, if you look at personal mobility devices as not replacement, but for alternatives for walking, then that anxiety is not there. And that brings me to my point. A lot of the problems, or a lot of the things that triggers the statements that came out, and also this issue with e-scooters being banned on roads, stem from very irresponsible use of personal mobility devices. They use personal mobility devices like they are vehicles. And I want to make it really clear here. If you guys really want to get into PMDs, you guys really want to get into e-scooters, we all have to work as a community, because I'm in it too. And be responsible. Put out a good image. Ride with flowers or whatever. Wear your helmet. And don't think that your e-scooter can replace a motorcycle. Don't think that your e-scooter or your mono wheel or whatever can replace a car. Because when you start thinking like that, you will start using it like a car. You'll start using it like a motorcycle. And that's what happens. You get idiots riding PMDs on highways. You get idiots riding bicycles on highways. And that's wrong. That's clear-cut wrong. So what can we do about this, right? If you ask me, but don't take my advice for it, I'm a bit of a cowboy when it comes to all these things. I feel that there's always room for discussion. So to look at another example, the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia. Every once in a while, maybe 3-6 months, they'll issue out a reminder, like a statement on their Facebook to say, okay, if you're flying drones, you need to get a permit, and you need to be careful, blah, 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 blah. But they never mention where and how you can get the permit. They do classify like what types of drones. Even the hobby drones are not allowed to be flown without permits. But there's very little enforcement. Now, I'm not saying that we should focus on the very little enforcement part. I'm saying that the very little enforcement means there is opportunity for us as a community, whether we are drone pilots or bicyclists or personal mobility fans, to operate within an envelope that does not require regulation or authority involvement. And that's what I'm saying. It can be a place where we can still use personal mobility devices and not have the authorities have to come in and summon us and whatever, put us in jail, if all of us operate these vehicles responsibly. Now, coming back to regulations, like Alex mentioned, Singapore has put out like a very detailed outline, and it's not impossible for us. Okay, I don't, I have my feelings with regards to Singapore, as many of you do, if you are like pure red blood Malaysians. Malaysia is always better than Singapore for sure, but there are certain things that we can learn. So like Alex mentioned, they do categorize the type of personal mobility devices and also the types of areas that you can ride very clearly. So in Singapore, they categorize roads as footpath, cycling path, and within cycling paths, there's the normal cycling path, and then there's the park connection paths, and then there's roads. In Malaysia, there's road, and then there's no road.
Clear cut. Yeah.
Sometimes the road becomes a no road. You get what I'm saying?
And sometimes the cycling path is actually on the road.
Yeah.
Let's draw a blue line on the side.
Just a blue line, that's it, a cycling path. There's no clear segmentation or whatever. Okay, think of the positives. Number one, okay, we're moving somewhere. Yay, we have cycling paths, but the cycling paths are poorly designed. I'm not blaming the police with regards to this. The police is doing their job. Basically, diorang basuh tangan lah.
They want because imagine if they don't say anything, right? If something happens on the road, they say, see, the police are not doing anything.
Yeah.
So I got to give it to them that they're doing something right in terms of reminding public don't use your PMDs.
I'm not sure whether they're doing something right lah. To me, they're just okay. I love my police people. What's up, everybody? If you're watching this, thank you very much for keeping us safe and everything. But this is kind of like basuh tangan lah. If I don't know, it's like, dude, my job's done. I already told the people they're not supposed to be on the road. If anything happens, it's not my responsibility because I already told them. It feels like that to me.
But it is their responsibility. They're gonna summon them.
No, but the thing is, they should be. Why can't the transport minister, the police, and maybe the innovation minister, whatever, come out together and tell this or put out a bulletin, right? Okay, we welcome personal mobility devices because they are the future. They help improve the environment. They help people move around. They reduce the dependency on cars and combustion engines. They help reduce pollution, noise pollution, sound, air pollution, whatever. And this is our stand. Our stand is we welcome this. We would like to work with the community for a better adoption of this, and we want to move forward. Why can't they do that?
Exactly. I think that's the missing point because the authorities right now, it seems to be telling us, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that. So what is the right way of doing it? Yeah. They should promote, responsible usage or PMD. Yeah. And like you said, like the all these ministries, they should at least put a clear stand that yes, we should support this because these are a good mode of transport to connect the last mile. Yes. Like you said, reduce sound pollution, air pollution, and all that, and it's good. But to use these are the things that you should do and what you can't do. Yeah. That needs to be clear. Yeah. So right now, nobody's saying anything. Of course, the only thing we hear right now is the police saying that you can't use it on roads, and that's it. Where else can we use? And there's a lot of problems with Malaysia in regards to that. If we're going to keep off the roads, right? How about areas where there's no cycling path, no concrete footpath? So where do we go? If let's say we take a PMD from a house to the grocery store, are we going to get summoned if suddenly there's no cycling path? Yeah. What's next?
I don't know. I mean, so those are the questions that's being raised. The big issue for me is that number one, okay, how can we improve this? Number one, maybe when the media is reporting it, they need to go deeper. I'm not blaming them because they have a lot of work. That's why we're here. We're digging deeper. We're trying to find out what's going on. Number two, the people who are making the statements, I think they need to ask each other, okay, today I'm going to say this, today I'm going to do this. Maybe they do, but maybe the briefing needs to be better so that we are not confused. And number three, everybody, guys, come on, new technology, please, let's adopt new technology and not ban things. there is a lot of utility in electric personal mobility devices. I really believe in them. And I want to use them. And I want to be able to use them safely because I want to be alive. And I believe a lot of people also want to do that. The question is an outright ban without any clear indication of what we should do next to allow us to ride the personal mobility device? The answer? Obviously not.
Yep.
So that's about it, guys. I hope we've cleared the air on whether e-scooters are banned in Malaysia. Number one, they're not, there's no hard ban. You can ride e-scooters on gazetted areas.
Basically anything that's not road.
Maybe it's that. But so you can ride them around parks. Apparently footpaths are okay too. And anything around shopping malls. So areas around shopping malls. That's fine. For me, that covers what KLCT is. It's malls after malls after malls. That's fine. Just stay away from roads. If you're riding personal mobility devices, just be safe and be responsible. Wear your safety gear. Portray a super clean and responsible image to people so that we don't become viral like this video, right?
And look out for pedestrians, of course.
Yeah. And look out for pedestrians and yourselves. Okay, so I hope we've cleared the air on this. We're going to put a lot of the resources that we pulled out from this in the comment section, so please feel free to take a look at it. Do put in your comments, what do you think about e-personal mobility devices? Are you an e-scooter rider? Do you have any problems? What are your experiences? Do you have any questions, comments, suggestions? Let us know. We love to hear from you. We engage with you guys, so keep them coming, because that just motivates us more. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Before we go, I just want to remind everybody, Let's Talk About is also available on podcast. So just search for Sorry Chin Chow, Let's Talk About on any of your favorite podcast platforms and you'll be able to find us there. If you're listening to us on podcast, please do give us a 5-star rating because that helps us be discovered by a lot more podcast listeners and that gets our podcasts out there to more people. Alright, so if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up if you like the show. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And of course, comments, suggestions, questions. We love to hear from you guys. Alright, that's pretty much it. This is Amin.
And this is Alex.
Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.